Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel Leela Web Dev. Today we are diving into a super important topic for anyone working with large files in the Node.js. How to properly handle the split characters when reading streams chunk by chunk. So if you try to see our code, so right now the code which we are trying to see, the chunk and all those things are splitted. If you see the output also, so it has been splitted. So let's try to understand about this one. So how to properly handle the splitting of these chunks, and also why this happens, everything we need to understand it. It sounds tricky, but by the end of this video you will understand it completely, and we will even walk through how to solve the code also. Let's try to see it. So now let's go. So when we read a data from a file in Node.js using streams, the data comes in chunks. This one you already know. These chunks are called as a buffer. There is nothing but array of bytes. So here if you try to observe carefully, let's say that you are getting it as a buffer. So imagine that, let's go to our paint. Yeah, here I will try to write it. So let's say that we are getting it as a byte. So you will be having 1, 2, 3. So going on, you will be getting around 32,182 or something like this. Okay, let's say that this is an array. So this is the chunk of data which you will be getting it. Why? Because so this one is around the read chunk, it is around 64 KB. Let me tell you, it is 64 KB. That means around in bytes, if I try to tell you, it is around 65,000 bytes, right? So maybe I am thinking 65,000 bytes, something like that. So as I already told you, first we need to understand how the buffer works. So I want to tell you how the buffer works. So let's Control Z this one all. So let's say that you are having an array. So 1, 2, 3, something like this. Okay. So this is an array, and each representation of this one is nothing but an 1 byte. Okay. This is a 1 byte. So 1 byte, it is nothing but it is represented using 8 bits. So 1 byte means nothing but 8 bits. So that means it is something like the one representation, it will be happen in something like 0, 0, 0, 0 and 0, 0, 0, 1. So this is the representation, and the second one will be represented comma 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0. So like this the array will be. So if I want to talk you about the raw data, so the chunk will be the buffer data will be stored in this format. So this is 4 bits and this one is 4 bits. Okay, and here it is 4 bits and this one is 4 bits. So I was trying to explain you that so this chunk, this buffer will be using the encoding format UTF-8. Here 8 means each character. Okay, so you need to understand each character will be represented using the 8 bits. Okay, so if you are having 1, 2, 3, 4, something like this means then each character will be represented with an 8 bits. So if you are having 32,810 means, so each one, this one will be stored in 8 bits, 8 bits, 8 bits, 8 bits, 8 bits. Okay, so now this is how you will be having. Now there is no way that in the buffer, so we are using the UTF-8 format, and also the buffer inside the Node.js, it will be using the UnitTesting array. Okay, it is a UnitTesting array. It is a special type of array which stores the 8 bits of data. That is nothing but zeros and ones. So now here think that so there is no way to split these two. So for example, let's say that it is having an index of 0, 1 and 2 means, so either 0, 1 and 2 will be splitted, okay, or otherwise 0 and 1, 2 will be splitted. There is no meaning that half of this 2 will be splitted, something like a 1 and half. There is no meaning. That means, for example, let's say that this 2 means, so it is something like 4 zeros and 0, 0, 1, 0, right? So don't think that the chunk will be divided in between this one. The chunk will be either divided here or either divided here. So that is one thing you should understand. So if you are taking unit 4 array means then it will be divided. So if you are using UTF-4 or ASCII, something like that, any other whatever it is, 4-bit saving means then it will be divided. So that for those type of things we need to put a lot of effort to add those things. So you need to combine that values, and you need to do it, append those values and all those things. So that is the thing. Okay, so now let's say that imagine you are having a reading a numbers from a file. So these numbers could be something like let's say that you are having 1 2, so here you will be having 1 2 3 so on, you will be going, and here you will be having a 32,182. let's assume that. Okay, I told you that this one is an 8-bit 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 8-bit, and also this one is an 8-bit. Each character is a 1 byte, let's assume. So 1 byte means I am why I am trying to tell you is 1 byte means nothing but an 8 bits of data, 8 bits of binary data. So now at the last chunk by this 32 thing, so here 65,000 I am trying to tell you, right, 65,000 bytes. Okay, 65,000 bytes means if you want to convert into a bits means into 8, try to make it as an into 8, then it is around 63 million bits. Okay, so now each chunk will have a 63 million bits. That is nothing but it is equal to the 63 million zeros and ones. So from 1 2 and 3 if you go on to 32,000, so let's say that up to 32, each one is a character, let's assume. So up to 3 or 32, the 63 million bits has been completed. And what will happen, so up to here it will not care, the stream will not care about this complete number. So each one it will treat it as a separate character only. Okay. So the data comes in chunks. These chunks are buffers, array of bytes. So now, and the next chunk may contain, and this chunk, the next chunk, whichever the chunk you are getting it. So let's try to remove this one all. Let's assume that, so the first chunk of data you will be having in such a way that, so 1 2 3 and going on, it will be having 32. Okay, so here you need to have 182, right? In the next chunk of data you will get that 182 and comma, and you will be able to get all the remaining numbers. So here also you will be able to see the 64, and here you will be able to see the first value will be 370, like that it will go on. So here the last number and the first number is the combination. Okay, you need to understand here. So 32 and 182 are not separate numbers, they are parts of one number. So if you combine these two, 32,182, so we just split a number in between the two chunks. So now this kind of split can happen anywhere, start, middle or end, and unless we fix it, our program going to misinterpret the data. So let's go deeper and understand why this. When you're reading from a file, the stream gives you chunk based on the buffer size. I told you, right, the 64 KB. So each character is an 8 bits and each chunk is just a set of bytes. So that stream does not know or care if it's splitting a number in half or not. So that is the main thing you will be having. Okay. So now let's so why is happening? So Node.js, normally the buffers are actually Unit-8 array of 8-bit unsigned integers. So that's what I am trying to tell you. And here if you are having a buffer, let's say that if you are having a buffer means, so now here you are having a buffer, so 1 comma 2, so let's say that this is a buffer means, so how the buffer will be saved is 0 0 0 0 and 0 0 0 1, and here 0 0 0 0 0 0 1 0. So this is the buffer. So in the buffer, instead of showing this all the binary digits like this, it will show it in a hexadecimal format. Okay, so 8 bits, so it will show it as in 2 hexadecimal digits. So that is the reason you will be able to see. So this one will be buffer, it will write it as in buffer and arrow mark, and 4 digit, this one comes with the 4 digit, and this one comes with the 4 digit, there is nothing but 1, and here also 4 digit, and this one will be around 2. Okay, so this is the buffer which you will be able to see. So this is how it will be displaying you. For example, if it has a 1 here means the first 4 digits it will become 1 and 1 2. So each ASCII character is also 1 byte, that is 8 bits, and each buffer element is also a 1 byte, that is 8 bits. Streams send chunks of these bytes, but they don't guarantee whole logical units like numbers. So a number like 32,000 could be split into 32 in one buffer and 0 0 0 in the next buffer. So that's it. So now, so how we can fix this one? So now what I want to tell you about this one is, so now what we need to do it is, so here we need to check in our code that, let's say that we are having a 1 2 and going on, okay, here having going on 32 is there. Okay, and here you will be having another one something like 182 and come like this, it is there, right? So first of all we need to check in our code that So we need to, last element we need to take and we need to keep it as an leftover or splitted. Okay, split, the split in the variable we need to add it, and we need to check that after the next chunk when it is coming, we need to check that the first element plus 1 it is matching with the second element or not. If it is matching means that no splitting has been done. If the splitting has been done means the leftover chunk which we have got it from the first chunk, the number which we have got it from the first chunk, we need to append that one. So these are all as a characters we will having, we will append this one and we need to combine it. So that is the thing which we need to do it. Or otherwise here also you can check it, the number, the last number which we are having it, subtract -1 and we should get the previous number. If we get the previous number means then this last number has not been splitted. If we are not getting last one means then the number has been splitted, so we need to add the number. So this is how we need to check the code. Leftover captures any split number at the end. On the next chunk we need to prepend it to the beginning. So that is the main thing which we need to do. In this way we guarantee that every number we process is whole and never accidentally split across the buffers. So that's it guys. So before wrapping it up, streams read in bytes, chunks of data, characters are 1 byte, UTF-8, buffers don't care about the logical boundaries, you need to manually manage the split data to chunk edges. So but now you know exactly how to do that one. So if you found this one helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment with any questions. Want to see how to filter the this one all even numbers, we'll try to do it. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.